Hey, what's up, YouTube? Hey, we're back for another 5 on Friday. I haven't done this in a long time. Anyway, I'm ready. I hope you guys are. Let's go and get it done. All right, gang, thank you for your patience. I haven't been doing a lot of videos lately. I've been doing all kinds of other stuff, and my company's been going through all kinds of changes. And at the very end here, I'm gonna expand on that a little bit because I've had quite a few questions like, can you share what's going on with your company? So I'm going to talk a little bit about that when we're at the end here. But first of all, I want to get to some of the questions because some of these have been on my YouTube feed for quite a while. And if you have questions, comments, man, put them in the comments. Ask me the questions. I'll be glad to answer them. And let's move on. Let's get into it. So I have to put my readers on for this. So the first question comes from Will N. He asks, how do you feel about paying an outside salesman that has contacts that could provide a quick install work that would be back-to-back in large developments as well as commercial developments? The job would be a full install, including irrigation. It'd be a part-time gig for the salesman, like 10 hours a month. So it sounds to me like maybe this guy has some connections, this person has some connections, and maybe some, it sounds like new install work or quick install work that you could do in big developments. I think if the person has the connections, that's cool, that's great. And 10 hours a month isn't really a lot of commitment on your part as the business owner. So I would definitely give it a shot, but be careful, make sure that you are clear in how you're going to compensate this person. Are you going to do commission? Are you going to do commission and maybe just an hourly rate? Are you going to just give basically a fixed sum of money per month? Those are the kinds of things you need to work out. But ultimately, I think if it's a way for you to grow your business and if the work is in your wheelhouse, if the work's not in your wheelhouse, make sure it's something you want to do. There's no reason why you can't try something else. I mean, that's cool. Try something different, great. But if it's something that you don't really want to do, then watch out. So I think that those are some of the things to consider. Having said that, having a salesperson it's kind of like a double-edged sword. If they're not selling, then you got problems. So you just have to make sure that the expectations are clear and set before maybe you get into that relationship. So sit down, talk to that person, make sure that you guys are on the same page as far as what you expect from that person and what they expect from you too in return. And then is it a long-term thing? Like, is it going to turn into full-time, or is it just like a part-time deal where that person is going to be just working like 10 hours a month? So again, it could be a great thing. Just make sure it's something that you can handle. Make sure you can do the work after they sell the work. And you could always try it for a month or two, and if it doesn't work out, shake hands and go your separate ways. So thanks, Will. I appreciate the question. Will also asked a second part question. This is a good question, so pay attention. How many days will I need at the GIE Expo? I look forward to seeing you there. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Hopefully we'll run into each other. Also, would you suggest any continuing ed classes while I'm attending the GIE? Great question. Yes, I always suggest attending any kind of educational courses at GIE or anywhere else for that matter. So here's my take on that. I've been going to GIE for, I don't know, 25 years, like forever. I've been going to the show. And what amazes me, and this has been for many years, like there's leaders in the industry that I know their companies are doing tens of millions of dollars. Okay, I know some of the guys, and some of them I just know of them, but I see them. And they're in the seminars, sitting there while I'm in the seminar, and they're doing this. And they're listening, and they're asking questions. And what amazes me is I'm sitting here going, this guy's doing $30 million a year in sales, and he's still sitting here learning from these seminars. If they're doing it, then we need to be doing it too, okay? We need to be doing it too. So don't just go there to look at the equipment and walk around and all that stuff. I mean, that's all cool stuff. I love doing that. I love walking the floor. I like to go outside, check the stuff out. But that's not the whole GIE. The courses are so important. Try it, please. Go all 3 days or 2 days or whatever it is. sign up for the courses. You're going to be there already. You're already paying for the hotel room. You're paying for the gas to get there. You're going to be there anyway. How much can you walk the floor? I mean, you can only walk the floor so much anyway. So spend some time in the seminars, all right? Secondly, if you get a chance, the Breakfast of Champs, it's called, I don't know what hotel it's at this year, but it's amazing. So it doesn't cost all that much. You get breakfast, you get to sit across the table and round table with other people in the industry. People, you could be sitting across from a guy that's doing 20 million, another guy that's doing 50,000, another guy that's doing 100,000, and you're all sharing ideas. So GIE is more than just equipment and walking around and networking. Networking is great too. Don't get me wrong. I love that part. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love going to the events. I love going to the GIE get together that the YouTube guys put together. I think that's freaking awesome. I'll be there. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. But just go sign up for the classes, and then let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, thanks, Will. Appreciate the question. Next question is Jose G. He says, I've been watching you for a while, looking to understand how to get more into the lawn care commercial end of stuff. We do lawns on weekends and don't have that many, around 7 per week. What would you recommend to get in touch with commercial accounts? I would say probably the easiest thing is to just knock on some doors. So say you're in the neighborhood and you're doing your 7 accounts, and there has to be like a McDonald's, a Burger King, maybe a small business, maybe a Target, a Walmart. Well, watch out for Targets and Walmarts and things, because sometimes those go through corporate. But locally owned businesses, things like that, knock on the door, drop off a card, say, hey, I do other properties in the area. I'd love to get an opportunity to bid your property. Remember, commercial is a lot different than residential. It's more of a business kind of a relationship than a personal, so it's a little bit different from that respect. I can go on and on about commercial because that's what we do, but primarily, I think the biggest thing with commercial is you have to ask yourself, is it something I want to get into? It's a little bit different. It's a little more, I would say that it's not as like I said, just touchy feel. It's just not, you don't have that same relationship as you do with a residential homeowner. It's just different. It's not bad. It's good. It's fine. I like it. I think it's great. But on the other end of it, make that decision. Now, a couple other ideas for you. Get in touch with local property management companies. So go on to Google property management companies, and you can tell them, hey, look, I'm looking for maybe some smaller jobs or maybe something in my area. Do you have anything? Are you putting out bid packets? A lot of times they'll let you just pick up a bid packet, whenever it's that time of year. It's that time of year now in the Cleveland area, like this September, October is when all the management companies are putting out their bid packets. So just Google management companies near me, or property management companies near me. You'll find some, and you just need to, call them or stop in, drop off a box of candy or something, and tell them, hey, I'm in this business. I'm interested in doing some commercial work. Can you guys shoot some bids my way? I'd love to give it a shot. Okay? Hope that answers your question. Next question. This is going to be a hard one, man, because I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing your name. Sorry. It says Moises A. Question: how did you start your business? Did you start from cutting lawns yourself, or what? No, my dad started this company, and he basically was, and I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. He worked for United Airlines. So he worked for United Airlines for many years. When he was in his mid to late 40s, he got laid off and decided that he wanted to do, he'd always done like landscaping on the side, but he decided he was going to go into it full time. So he started working out of his garage, bought a used truck, bought some used equipment. At the same time, I was in my late 20s. I ended up working with him because I was pretty much a full-time musician back then. So, but I needed to make some more money. My dad needed help. I started working with him. As time went on, I started to realize that this could become an actual business. And I've always liked business. Like even when I was playing in music in my bands and stuff, I was always like the business guy. I booked the bands. I did all the accounting, and I did all that stuff, sales and things like that for the bands. So it was something that I've always liked doing. So it worked out well. But the bottom line is that my dad's a technician. He likes to work in the field. He's been retired now for a number of years, and now I run the place. But he gets the credit for starting this, because if it wasn't for him, there'd be no Southwest. Now I I took it over and I grew it, and he didn't want really anything to do with growing it. He just wanted to work. So I had to convince him that, let's make this thing, let's grow this thing, let's make it bigger, let's make it something that can support our families and support other people's families and be a part of the community, which is what we ended up doing. On the other hand, I started in the field. I worked in the field for 12 years. So I mowed the lawns. I did everything, like just worked out in the field for 12 years before I started transitioning into this position where I am now. So I didn't just start in this nice cushy office. We worked out of an old beat up barn. We worked out of a garage. We had used equipment, used trucks, used trailers, everything. And I worked in the field for a long time, learned it from the ground up, because we didn't have luxury of we didn't really have structure back then. So we just had work. We got more work as time went on. We hired more people, and the company grew and went from residential to commercial. So I hope that answers your question. And there's a little bit more for the next guy that answered the next question. I can elaborate a little bit more. So thanks for the question. I appreciate it. All right. Question number 4. Brandon C. I was wondering if you'd be willing to provide some insight into your company organizational structure, some basic responsibilities you have set for the roles. I have a commercial landscape maintenance company in Canada. That's cool. That's growing quickly, and would like to compare to how you have structured yours, specifically what the roles look like between you and your crew leaders, multiple supervisors covering set areas, or one production. I think he was going to say manager. I think I missed that word. Anyway, good question. So I'm still involved with the crews every day. Like when I come in here in the morning, they're rolling out, and I still talk to them like, hey, what's going on? I say hi. How's your I know what's going on with the crews. I have an operations manager. I've always had, well, I haven't always, but for the past probably 10 years, I've had someone in that role that, and it's been a couple different people, but someone that's been kind of between me and the crew, and it's been an operations type person that deals with all of the kind of day-to-day issues with the crews, because I can't be doing that and dealing with the other things that I deal with, which is primarily customer service issues. I'm kind of like a glorified account manager at this point. I do a lot of the sales. I do a lot of the contract renewals, things like that, upsells on the jobs, walk properties, do visual inspections, meet with the customers, and then I deal with a lot of the administrative tasks in the office here, so I got a lot of that stuff. Luckily, I have a great office manager too that takes care of that stuff. So at this point, when we're at the $1 million mark in sales, so I have an operations manager and I have an office manager. Then we have foremen underneath the operations manager. The foremen report to the operations manager reports to me, office manager reports to me, and that's how it works right now. Now, as we grow, I'll have an account manager at some point where that person will also report to me. I'll have a salesperson at some point where I actually had one last year and it did not work out, but I'll have a salesperson that also reports to me. The idea is to build your structure, create an org chart, an organizational chart. If you guys want to see a video about an organizational chart, it's one of the first videos I posted with my brother. We kind of draw it on a board in our conference room over here. So check that out if you want to look at how the org charts are made and how you can incorporate that into your business. So I do appreciate the question, and I hope I answered it for you, Brandon. Cool, man. I'm glad things are going well for you up in Canada. All right, so I have one final question, and this has been asked by several people, so I'm just going to try to address it here. So some of you have asked about the changes I made within my company, and I have made a ton of changes this year. And I can't elaborate a lot. I mean, our business model is the same. We're still commercial maintenance. We're still doing the same type of work and everything, so that hasn't changed. But almost everything else has. So without getting too in depth, I can just tell you this, that a lot of pretty much everybody that's worked for me over the past 5 years has been changed out. Some has been voluntary and on purpose. Some has been I had to let go, and it's been a very trying time these past 6 months. That's why I haven't shot a lot of videos. I've been busy trying to restructure and redo my business, which ultimately is going to be a very good thing. But having said that, it's quite difficult when you're dealing with. I had over 25 employees last year, so trying to turn a ship around like that and changing everybody out is not an easy thing. And in addition to that, I also changed out my outside accountant that I had had for 30 years because he retired. So all of this perfect storm kind of happened at once, and it's caused me to evaluate like what I'm doing, what my role is in this company, and where the company's going to go and what's going to happen, and who I'm going to have work here. So I've been very lucky to find some great people to replace the people that have left, and some that I had to let go. But I think ultimately it's going to be a very good thing, and I will elaborate more on it as time goes by. But right now, doing a lot of the same stuff and having a good time at it, just, very challenging, very challenging. It is what it is. You run a business, and it's a challenge. It's constantly a challenge. So it's been different, and I'm so far happy with the results. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. I'll either be doing like a day in the life type thing or some more of these videos. Let me know in the comments what you want to hear, what you want to see, and also throw some questions down there. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon.